Hi there, I'm going to show you how to make an Ivory Lace Bralette today, and I'm using this massive pound of love because I bought this because I'm getting ready for the market season and I'm going to be making a lot of these for the market and probably some other summery tops out of this beautiful color. It's antique white, I think is what it's called, and yes, it's called antique white, and it's a 4-weight worsted weight yarn. They call it Aran in the UK, and I have a H hook here, an H hook, 5mm, a nice pair of scissors, and a yarn needle. So that's all you're going to need to make this. So I'm going to start out with a small cup, which fits 36A up to 34B, 36B, 32D, all those kinds of sizes, okay? So the finished cup should measure around 6 to 6.5 inches. Okay, so we're going to start out with a slip knot. We're going to make that slip knot, and then we're going to chain 11. And there's a special way to make these cups, so once you've learned it, you can make all sorts of cups. You just have to make the chain a little bit longer to start with. So here's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we've chained 11, and now we're going to double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook and then into the next 7 chains. So let's count up 1, 2, 3 chains from the hook. So we're going to double crochet into that chain, and now we're going to double crochet into each of the next 7 chains. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 'Some yarn happening here, and 7. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to then do 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets into the last stitch. So we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1, and then into the same stitch, 2. And now we're going to chain 1, and then into that same stitch that we have there at the end, we're going to do 2 more double crochets. And this is kind of turning a corner at the top, all right? Because what we're going to do now is we're going to chain down the other side. We're going to stitch down, double crochet down the other side of the chain. Okay, so we have to do 8 double crochet stitches down the other side of the chain. Okay, so we're going to start here. 1, and you just kind of look and you can see the other side, right? 2, and we're going to do 8. 3, it's really good to count when you do this. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm just going to, how many are we chaining? Chaining 2 for the next round, okay? So I'm chaining 2, and you can see how that looks. You're going up, then you do the chain, the 2 double crochets, chain 1, so you've got a little gap there, 2 double crochets, and then we go down the other side, and that's the beginning of our cup. And these 2 double crochets with a chain 1 in between sort of form the cup shape of the cup, okay? So I'm going to go back into the end of the chain 2 that we just did, and we're going to turn our work. So we're going to be going back up towards that little semicircle that's formed at the top. Okay, so for row 2, round row 2, we're going to chain 2, which we've done, turn, and then double crochet into the next 10 stitches. Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got a tangle in my yarn there. Okay, so I'm picking up from 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're back at that chain 1 hole that we've got. Well, this time we're not going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. We're actually just going to do 1 double crochet and a chain. 1 double crochet, a chain 1, and another double crochet. That's how we're going to carry on from now on. And then when we go down the other side, we should be being able to do double crochets into at the end. So this is 11. Chain 2 and turn. And this is what it's starting to look like. Can you see how it's cupping? So that's pretty magical how that happens. Okay, so now we're going to be going up 12 stitches. Each time we go round, we get another stitch. So we're going to crochet into the first 12 stitches all the way up. So I'll meet you at the end. Otherwise the video gets super long. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So here we are, we've done 12. Now I'm going to go into the chain 1 space from the row below, and I'm going to double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And now we're going to work down the 12 stitches down the other side and finish this round. Okay, 1, 2, and carry on all the way down until you've finished your 12. And here we are at the end. This is number 12. And we chain 2 and we turn. And this is going to be the last round now. We've got 1, if you look at the middle, this is the middle. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, and we need 5 rounds for the small cup. So we're going to chain 2, and now we're going to double crochet into the next 13 stitches. Okay, so we've done our stitches up there, 13, and now we're going to do our double crochet and our chain 1 and double crochet back into that chain 1 space from below, and we're going to go down here making 13 more stitches, which with that one we've just done makes 14 altogether. We're going to go count 13. 2, 3, 4. It's getting pretty exciting all the way down to, so now we're at the bottom, we're doing 13. And when we look at it, we have got from the middle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then from the middle here, where that's our center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and because we're always increasing in the middle, I'm cutting this off. I'm going to leave a little bit of a thing just in case I need it to. And I'm going to pull it through. That's the cup. And we have to make another cup, okay? But right now I'm going to show you how to weave in the end that's at the back here. Okay, I like to pull that little chain 1 space to make it tight. And you go up and down. I go down the middle there. And then I'm going to criss over to the other side a little bit, go up and down there. Oops, what happened? I lost it. Two, and then I'm going to go one more time. Push it through like that. Okay, then we're going to cut that off. And so that's our first cup, okay? Now we need to make another one just the same. And as I say, I do have the other sizes on my free pattern on my blog post, which is going to be linked below. Okay, so I'm going to go off and make the other cup and come back. Okay, so now I've got the 2 cups made for the Ivory Lace Bralette. You can make it whatever color you want. And the next thing that we need to do, I've left kind of a long strap, a long string here, just in case we need it when we're sewing things together. Now what we're going to work on next is this bottom part, this lacy bodice. So I'm going to get my yarn and chain after I've started with a slip knot, pull it over and slip it in there. And we're going to chain 56 plus 1, okay? So you know how to chain, you just go like this, over, pull it through. 56 plus 1, so 57 altogether. So now we've done 56 plus 1, and the extra 1 is because we're going to be single crocheting into the second chain, and you automatically lose a stitch when you do that. So we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and we are going to be single crocheting all the way down this row. Hook in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2. So we're going to single crochet all the way down. This is sort of setting a nice foundation. Okay, so here we are at the end, and we're going to actually chain 2, even though it's a half double crochet row. It just gives us a bit more space. So we're now going to go back with a half double crochet, and this is where we put the yarn over, we go into the first space, pull the yarn through, yarn over, and go through all 3, okay? And we're going to half double crochet all the way down this row. So here we are. I have got to the end of that row, so that's my 56. Now I am going to chain 4 for row 3. 3, 4, chain 4, turn your work, and this is the fun part, okay? We're starting to make this lace, and it's really not as hard as you think it's going to be. So we're going to skip 3 stitches, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The light's not that good here today. And I'm going to go into the 4th stitch with 3 trebles and a chain 2, and then 3 more trebles. So a treble is when you wrap the yarn twice around the hook, and you put it into that 1, 2, 3, 4th space, yarn over and pull it through. Now we're going to yarn over and pull it through 2, yarn over and pull it through 2, yarn over and pull it through 2. Twice over, into the same hole, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2. Over twice, into the same hole, pull the yarn through, then 2, 2, 2. That's 3 trebles, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 3 more trebles into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's how our little lacy cluster is going to look for this row. They're going to change. They're going to alternate. Okay, so it's not, each row is not exactly the same. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then into the next stitch we are going to do a double crochet. So we're skipping 3, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th one we are going to put the yarn over and do a double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip 3 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th one we're going to make another treble. Wrap the yarn over twice into that space and make 3 trebles. And 3. And what do we have in between? 2 chains, and then 3 more trebles. Oops, sorry. My yarn's not coming. It's not being friendly. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the 4th. And you might want to stop it and go back to follow the pattern, but from here we're going to skip 3, and in the 4th space we're going to do 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles. Then we're going to skip 3 and do chain 1, skip 3, and do a double. Okay, I'm not going to do all the way across, otherwise the video gets really long. Okay, so I'll catch you at the end. Okay, so I'm in the last space here doing my trebles. I've done one, sorry, and now I'm doing 2, yarn over twice, and doing my 3rd one. Now chaining 2, yarn over twice to carry on with the treble cluster here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we chain 1, and then we skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and then into the last stitch of that row we're going to do a double crochet. And that is the first row of our lacy bodice. It actually goes this way because this is the waist and it goes downwards, right? But this is the first row that we've done. Okay, now to start the second row, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and turn the work. And now we're going to do 3 double crochets, not trebles, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 doubles into this space here, this nice space that we've got from our previous one. So now we don't have to count the chains anymore, okay? We just do 3 double crochets into this space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, 1, 2. And then 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1. So we're alternating between triples and doubles, okay? Now, when we're going to go across here, we're going to do exactly the same as we did on the other row. We're going to chain 1. But instead of doing a double, because we did trebles alternating with doubles, trebles, double, trebles, double, we are now doing double and a treble into the top of this double crochet. So we're going to wrap it round twice. I chained 1. We wrap it round twice, and then we go right into the top of this double crochet. And we make our treble. We twice, go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. Chain 1, and then we're hopping over to this nice space here in this cluster. Okay, we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Not chaining 2 this time, chaining 1 when we're going across to this part, and we're going to do a treble. So wrap your yarn over twice into the top of that double crochet of the treble from the previous round. No, double crochet from the previous round. We're going to do a treble, double treble, and it's going to go like that, double treble. Okay, chain 1, go into this top, and we're going to make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, 3, and chain 1. And then we're going to make a treble into the top of the double crochet. So wrap your yarn over twice into the top of that double crochet and make your treble. Chain 1 and on to the clusters. And you see how it's starting to look? Here we've got treble crochet cluster, and here we have a double crochet cluster. Here we have a double crochet and a treble. So that's how we're going. So carry on to the end, and I'll meet you back at the end of this row. So here we are at the end. I have chained 1. We're going to make our 3 double crochet cluster in here. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to chain 2. Do another 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do our treble crochet into the 3rd chain here. So we're going to do a treble. Oh no, sorry, I think we finished with a double crochet. That's right, we're going to break the pattern. We're just going to do a double crochet. 1, 2, 3 into that 3rd chain from the starting chain in the previous row. Now we are going to chain 5. Sorry, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, turn your work, and this is where we go back into the treble crochet clusters. So now we can go, we don't have to skip any rows, we can just go straight into here, wrap the yarn over twice, and go right into that space from the previous cluster and make 3 trebles. Chain 2 and 3 more trebles. 1, 2, and 3. And then we chain 1, and then we're going to double crochet into the top of the previous treble. Okay, chain 1 and do a treble, 3 treble, chain 2, 3 treble, chain 1 and do a double. Okay, so that's how it's going to go all the way across. It's the same as the first row that we did. So we've just come to the end of the row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have finished our treble crochet cluster there. I'm going to chain 1, and then we're going to count up to the 3rd chain from the turning chain here. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to double crochet into that. But I always like to go through 2. That's it, double crochet. All right, so now we're going to go on to row 6, which is a repeat of the double crochet clusters. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to start to work our double crochet clusters. So here we are. We've got our single crochet row, our half double crochet row, our triple crochet clusters, our double crochet clusters, our triple crochet clusters. It's like tongue twister. And now we're going to do 3 double crochets separated by a chain 2 into each of these spaces. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1. And what do you think we're going to do in the top of this double crochet? A triple, right? So we wrap it over twice, right into the top of that double crochet from the row below. We're going to do a triple or treble, I never know. Chain 1, and then we're going to go into that space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So you know what to do all the way across, okay? So I'll meet you at the end. Chain 2, 3 double crochets. All right? Now we've got to the end, and we're going to make our double crochet into the 3rd chain from the previous turning chain, and that's finished row 6. If you want to make your bodice longer, you can carry on repeating row 5 and 6 as many times as you like to make your bodice as long as you'd like it to be. But I turn it over, I always like, oh, this way, that's the way. And this is our lace bodice, which is going to go at the bottom of our cups. Okay, so the next thing we need to learn is how to put it together. So to put the straps on the cups, we need to get our crochet hook and go into that little space at the top there. And we are going to pick up some yarn, make a slip knot, and hook it on there, tighten it up, pull it through, and we are going to chain 60, okay? I've got one that's made here. I chained up 60, and then I single crocheted back down. So I'm going to show you starting from here. I'm going to start to chain, and I'm going to make 60. Okay, so I'll see you when I've done. So once you've chained 60, you can leave it like that. Some people like to have their bralette straps nice and fine, okay? But if you want a little bit more extra strength, or just for it to look stronger, you can start by going into the second chain from the hook, and just put your hook in, pull it up, and do a single crochet, and go all the way down your chain, just like we did for the first row of the bodice actually. And this just makes it a nice, more substantial strap. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Guess we'll be at the bralette when I get to the end. So here I am, coming down towards the top of the bralette, and I'm just going to single crochet into this one, single crochet into this one, and single crochet into the last one, and then I'm going to single crochet into that chain 1 space, okay? And then I'm going to fasten it off, and I'll show you how I like to kind of secure it. So I'll pull that through. We have the piece of yarn from when we started, and this is the yarn that we finished it with, okay? So I'm going to just thread the yarn needle, because this is holding up the bralette, right? So it needs to be quite secure. So what I like to do is, you can see how it kind of pulls, because we've made it thicker. So I'm going to feed it through that hole there, just pull it through, and then sort of stitch it down the outside of the little keyhole that we made with the chain 1, and go back up this other side here. So that was where the chain 1 space was, in the middle. Right? And then we can go into the strap, and kind of, that really kind of secures it. Makes it nice and strong for when you're wearing your bralette. You don't want that part to break off. Then we can weave in the ends. Okay. You can weave them in as many times as you like. I am going to be sort of doing a speedy version because these kinds of projects always seem to take such a long time, and I don't like to split them up into a part 1 and a part 2 if I can avoid it, right? So here's the other part. We're just going to weave that end in, but I will leave you to weave the other ends in on your own, okay? So this one, I'm just going to thread it this way. And back, and I can go up the strap a little bit with it to kind of weave the strap into the cup. So it's all part of the same garment. There we go. And that one's done. You need to do the same on both sides. Okay, so we've got one bodice. And the bodice, when you look at it, cup, sorry. The cup, when you look at it this way, you can see these horseshoes going up. And when you look at it the other way, they're not, you can just see them. So you have to choose which way you like them to be, but it's a good idea to get them both facing the same way, okay? Sometimes I like to decide that by seeing where the yarn that we started off with was, right? So if we have them both with the yarn off to the left, that means they've both been made the same way. All right, so okay, and now we have to do the straps for the bodice. So the straps for the bodice are attached at this point where the single crochet and the half double crochet are. We have to attach the yarn with a slip knot. And then we are going to be chaining just like we did for the straps for the cups, okay? So here we are, we're going to be chaining for the bodice. We're going to make 80, okay? And that makes a 25-inch strap and single crochet back. So I'm going to go and do 2 of those straps, just the way we did the cup straps, exactly the same. Chain 80 and then single crochet back down till you get to the bodice, fasten it off, and we'll weave in the ends. Well, I thought I'd videoed when I came back and attached the straps, but unfortunately I had hit off instead of play. So here you can see where you come back and join it to the top here, you just have to weave it in just like you did the strap at the end. So I've done that on both ends because I have gone and woven in all the ends. So both ends of the strap now you can see are securely attached by going in and out and joining those 2 together. So now we are going to work on how to attach the cups to the bodice. So the first thing we have to do is fold the bodice in half. So we take the 2 side parts together and lay it out, and this allows us to find the middle of the bodice. And I'm going to put this pin in here. You can tie a piece of yarn in there if you want to. I'm going to put this pin in the middle, okay, to mark it out like that. And then we put the cups right side down facing over the bodice. So this is the right side of the bodice here. And we're going to put our cups with the right side down over the bodice so that it's attaching there. And you like to make it so that it comes to the same distance from the side on both cups, okay? So we can attach this one here on the end of that. And then if we put this one here, I like to kind of make it go all the way to where that line is going down. You see that line? So I'm going to attach that there, and I'm going to attach it there with a piece of yarn. Okay? This is the other way you can attach it. If you have lots of pins, you can use pins. Sometimes I use crochet hooks, if I've got some thin crochet hooks. But right now I'm just going to take it and I'm going to go through this corner of this one. And if you stretch this one across, if you kind of run it across like this, me see where we should go. I'm going to sort of do it as if I'm sewing it on, like this. We can actually make it go quite a ways across. Let's leave it at that mark there. So I'm going to run through here. I'm going to run it through there. And I'm going to tie a little knot. So there you can see it's going where that line is going up. Right where that line is. I'm actually going to put a piece of yarn in the middle to hold that middle piece in as well. And I'm going to attach it to that middle point where the needle is in the middle. So that's got our 1 cup attached. Tie it and a little knot there. Okay, now we can flip it. And we can lay our other cup down. Do the front down, facing down. So this is the right side and this is the right side. We're putting right sides facing. So we can also attach this one to the middle with a piece of yarn. Put it right into that corner piece of the cup and right into where the center of the bodice has been marked with the needle. And I'm just going to tie that up. And then I'm going to go across here, fitting it as I go, and get it to line up with that straight section here where we have our nice line there. And we'll attach that there. Take this piece through and tie that up. Okay, so when you open it up, you will see that this bodice piece, where those lines are going down, the cup is going out. I'm going to open it up. The cups meet at the middle. This one goes across to this line here, and then there's a shell on the end. And this one is attached at the middle, and it goes to where there is a straight line where we did our double crochets and our trebles there, and we've got a shell and the end. Okay, so what we have to do now is thread our yarn needle, and we are going to be able to sew the top cups onto the bodice. Okay, so again, nice long piece of yarn, and we're going to start here, right where these two are tied together, so we can run this through. I'm actually going to tie a knot in the end, and then we'll just weave that end in. That way it won't mess us up. Okay, and then we have this bit joined in the middle, so I'm going to take this cup and this bodice, and keep them together like this. And I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to look at the top and I'm going to go through the stitches. 2 stitches in the front and both of the legs of the crochet. So there and there. And we're going to go across with a whip stitch. Okay? And just hold it together. If you want to pin it, I like to sort of keep my hand all along it and sew it together like this. And this one, and this one. If you want to go through a couple at a time, you can do that. Get this side of the bodice, attach it to the cup. And go all the way along, just fitting the top to the bottom. I'll meet you in the middle. Got a few more stitches to go. So I'm here in the middle, so I'm just going to take this this piece of yarn out that we threaded it in together to hold it in place, because we don't need that to be in there anymore. We've got enough pieces of yarn, we don't need any more. All these ends, so that can come out. And here we are as we're approaching that needle. So let's make sure that our last stitch for the cup, actually, this is the second to the last here. The last stitch for the cup goes right into where that middle of the bodice was. And I'll even go on the other side of it and back into that corner of the cup. Okay? And one more, because we want the corners of the cup to be really stable. Okay, we don't want to let them float around. Okay, and now we've got the other corner of the cup here, which is tied here. So let's take that piece of yarn out. There we go. And we'll keep in the center here, but pick up that corner of the cup and pull it together like that. And go 2 or 3 times into that. And what I like to do sometimes is to open it up and just do a little stitch joining the bottom of the cups together. Just a couple. Right, and then we can fold the cups back down because we have this other side to do. Okay, so now we can just start. We find our first stitch here, join it to the back, whip stitch, constantly check that it's all lined up. And go down to the other end. So here we are approaching the final part where it joins the bodice, and I am going to take out this last thread that's holding it in place. There we go. And you can see that this is going to line up right above where we have that nice line. So make sure that you put it in right above where the line is and right in the corner of the cup. And go over a few times to make it nice and solid and secure. And weave in the yarn coming back into the seam 2 or 3 times so it doesn't come undone on you when you're running around on the beach. Now, when we open it up, here we have our Ivory Lace Bralette. Oh, I didn't weave in that end. So it's looking really beautiful. The side straps, the shoulder straps are all there, and you have a really nice, beautiful summer bralette. Curl those little handles there. Okay, so that's the Ivory Lace Bralette. I think I have a picture that I will be showing you, but I hope you enjoy it. And please subscribe to my channel if you like it, and hit the button if you want to be notified of when I have a new video coming out. Thank you for your patience watching this very long video. Okay, thank you. I'm Pam Carr from Caraway Crochet. Happy crocheting.